ICE is not just murdering people. They're capturing people and they're making their life worse than death. That's exactly what we'll find out in this video. But before I play the video and share with you all the details, just to remind you, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, take a listen.
Released last week, she said medical staff initially refused to see her after she began hemorrhaging profusely, soaking through 6 sanitary pads in an hour. Eventually, she was taken to a hospital. And last summer, a 32-year-old man died at the Florence Center after being detained at a facility for roughly 3 weeks. Now, that facility is being run by a company called Core Civic, and they have a statement saying, "Nothing matters more to Core Civic than the health and safety of the people in our care." He says the facilities routinely pass government inspections, and the reports of substandard care are simply not reflective of the hard work their people do. DHS simply says in a statement, it is a choice to be detained, and people can simply self-deport. But I just ask, are we still good with holding children, some as young as 2 months old, for indefinite amounts of time in any kind of facility that is basically a jail?
Look, I don't like hearing those stories. I want everyone to be safe and get the healthcare and what they need. I think it is a reminder, though, that we frankly don't have the resources to provide healthcare for the millions of
No, see, this is the problem. This is a problem. They punish these young children, 5 years old, 2 years old, newborn babies. And at the same time, they have the audacity to come in front of a camera and saying, "Oh, no, that's not what we want. We want them to be safe." I mean, enough of this BS.
And on the other point of people sort of complaining about
You mean in the jails or
detention centers,
just in general?
It's interesting. I mean, for years, the media ignored these stories about people who were complaining, whether it was in Texas on a border state or Springfield, Ohio, of immigrants who were flooding their towns and they didn't have resources at all.
You're being asked about children in
it's
detention
interesting
centers,
that
not
was
about
never
immigrants
covered.
taking healthcare.
And now
That was covered.
it
was covered.
It was ridiculed. People who
It was definitely covered.
people who were trying to wreck the border
The question
wall
is,
in
should
their
we be keeping
facility
children in
Texas.
detention facilities without the proper health care?
I think I would like. My understanding is children are getting healthcare there. I think
not.
they should get. I'm saddened to hear that report. If that's true, most of the reporting I've seen on these detention centers are that people are getting education and healthcare. So I, of course.
Well, look, I mean, I think both things can be true at the same time. It is,
we're getting education.
I
Hold on,
blame these
listen, I don't
parents,
want
though, for putting their children in this position.
Hold on. Look, there are at least some cases. There's one case where a family had, during the Biden administration, had come through the CBP-1 app. They had been inspected. They had gone through the application. They were told they could come into the country, and now they are being detained with their young child in a detention facility. Now, you can disagree with the actions of the Biden administration, but what is the point of punishing children for their parents doing something that was the illegal process at the time and putting them in, again, regardless of how many nurses they have or books they have in these facilities, these are jails.
Abby, when you're dealing
right?
with millions of people, there's always
the point
going to
of
be
that?
horrific stories like this. That's not going to stop. I think the bigger issue
but you
is
realize
there,
that the
is there a middle
scale
ground
is an
in
issue here,
Listen
right?
to this. I mean, I talked to a farmer from Iowa last week while I was in Florida, and he told me that if we threw out all of the people that work on his farms, we wouldn't eat anymore. And so what he's asking for is, say, wait a second, if this person came into the country, is supporting a family, never broke a law, is there some kind of middle ground to help him get his papers as a citizen, perhaps, while he works and feeds America? That was his question. I said,
it's a good question, but Trump promised mass deportation.
Remember, if you broke a law, if you actually are found in, I don't know, ICE or some other law enforcement entity, and you clearly came here illegally and you broke a law, I'm sorry, you're gone. You may have to stop it.
I have absolutely no idea what they're thinking. Like children in those facilities, they're getting education. Like unbelievable. No, they're not getting education. For example, when Jasmine Crockett, she visited this facility in Texas, I think, and she met Liam, just a little boy, 5 years old. She was telling all the harrowing stories about him, how he was treated, how he was separated from his parents. And you have this panel people, I mean, they're lying through their teeth, and they're lying it over and over again about the condition that they are going through. These little children in that facilities. Unbelievable stuff, guys.